Yo, what's up? CSGO tips number 12. I know I haven't done one in a while, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to think of new things that people haven't really said before. And if I do try to say something that I've said before, it's kind of like you just watch another video and they're like, hey, there you go. Go watch that one. So, at any rate, this video is going to be about option listing. And it is quite literal and is exactly what it sounds like. Listing all of your options in any given situation, honestly. This could be applied to map strategy, like macro map strategy, like how you take T side, how you set up on CT side, how you want to take mid control and Mirage, for example, like I am here, how you want to clear underpass. I did a video on that, on what I like doing when I go underpass. You know, how do you want to go out a ramp? You know, you have so many options to do the same thing, and option listing is basically a way for you to figure out what you think is good and what you think is not good based on the situation. Keywords being based on the situation, because what's good in one situation could be bad in a different situation, but option listing is going to help you figure out all of the possibilities regardless of what the other variables are, and from there you can figure out when each option is good and bad. I'm going to do a very simple example of option listing. We're going to pretend that I am a CT and I am not rifling, but I am opping. Let's pretend I am the mid opper on the CT side Mirage, and I want to peek mid. So how can I peek mid? You know, there are a lot of ways to peek mid. The most obvious one, and the first thing you'll think of, is you just peek the corner like this. So that's one option. We can put that down. Dry peek low. What do I mean by low? Well, you can jump on this little bench thingy and pick from up here. This is a bit of an off angle, not completely an off angle, but it's high enough so that the terrorist that's trying to counterpick you is going to have to flick up to hit your chest, or he's going to leg you. And if you're about the same level, like reaction time and everything, against that opper, you should win this fight. Just because you're aiming at his chest, he's aiming at your legs. So this is your second option, aiming up, or just coming out and getting onto this bench and picking, and then you can lead right after. What else can you do? Well, you could jump across and try to get this angle here. That is another option, and we'll talk about that one in a bit. The fourth option is to try to make the cat jump, as I b-hop off of it poorly, but another fourth option is to try to make the cat jump. And this is obviously a little difficult, but it is an option. What else can you do? Well, you could just not peek at all, honestly. You could literally just wait here and just not do anything. Right? Doing nothing is an option. You have to remember that. In some situations, you might want to just do nothing for a bit. I'm going to rattle off a bunch of other options real quick just because I don't want to get too, like, listy, but you can pop flash yourself to peek the window. You can try to do a one-way that's over here somewhere, like that. I actually don't remember what it is anymore. You can, hell, you can even go straight connector to peek that. You can delay peek connector with the flashover. You can one-way connector immediately. This is me going through all of these possibilities is what option listing is. So in terms of evaluating what's good and bad, again, it really depends on the entire situation, including your team, your team's player alive count, the opponent's team and their player alive count, what the map presence is, you know, what their tendencies are, which is another video. And you know, there's so many factors that come into option listing that it becomes hard to really figure out what's good and what's bad. But the only way to figure out what's good and what's bad, aside from running like 2 million hypotheticals, is to just run it, try it, and then figure out what went wrong, you know, how you could have done it better. Was it the choice that you made was bad, or was it the execution? stuff like that. So we're going to talk about the dry peeking low right here, this option. So what is good about this option? It's fast. Um, it's, you know, the most simple way to peek mid with an op. It's good if you have the best spawn for a CT, which is like here, around here or something. You'll usually beat the T, so you don't need to like do anything aside from just get in and just peek. As I block myself. And it's very easy to fall back from because you'll be right next to the wall and you can just jump away. So what's bad about this spot? Well, if you're late to peek mid, this T is going to be posted on you already. Based on the timings, if you are not at a good spawn as a CT, like if you're all the way over here, you're not going to make that angle first, right? You're not going to contest this angle first. Oops. Which means going into this spot is a bad idea. If you're not better than the opper that peeks you here, then peeking dry is going to be really hard because the other opper who's supposedly better in this hypothetical is going to kill you first. What can you do if you have a bad spawn or if you're not confident opping? Mix it up, play off angle like I said here. So now we move to this position on the bench. Why is this spot good? It's an off angle and it gives you a positional advantage over the T here, like I mentioned before, because he has to flick up. What's bad about this option? Well, you have to jump. If you jump too far, you might miss the bench, and now you've been in the air for a while. If someone catches you jumping, right, and just note that you can actually go here and then jump. But anyway, if someone catches you jumping like this, or not like that, sorry. If you're not familiar with just jumping without looking and you have to do this, this means you have to readjust while you're in the air, which is a little dangerous, again, and I can kill you. And the third and least obvious thing, after you take a shot, you have to fall off, which means you're probably unducking and then running off and you're in the air, and that can cause a little bit of problems. So basically what I'm saying is this spot has some bad aspects to it in terms of being in the air, but that's just the bad things about that spot. And we can keep going through what's good and what's bad about the other options, like playing this spot, you know, delaying this, you know. But again, that's what you need to do when you option list. This is really good in demo reviews. This is insanely good in demo reviews, and less good while you're in a game because you don't really have time to think about what you can do. You should go into the game knowing what you can do and then trying a few things. But when you're demo reviewing, option listing is very good, and it's really insane how many options there are in 1v1s, clutches, you know, 2v2s, how you play 2v2s, because again, there's so many variables that you have to account for, and how you can use those variables, like utility, position, bomb plant area, last known T location, currently known T location, and all this crazy nonsense. That option listing becomes really hard. Now, you don't have to list every single possible option ever, like, for example, if you get smoked at A, theoretically, one option is to run with your knife out straight into them, but that's not the best idea, obviously. So we can just say, no, that's terrible. Let's not even consider that. You know. So you don't have to list every option, but list the good options, or like things that seem good in at least some situations, right? So, you know, peeking this is a good option sometimes. Stacking right here, head stacking here to peek over the smoke is good most of the time. These are things you should be worrying about, not like the crazy, oh, I didn't expect him to run B apps to market to bench and flank me all the way the entire time while we're, you know, taking A or whatever. Hopefully this ramble wasn't too bad and you got the idea of what option listing is and how to use it in your demos. I highly recommend you do this if you're trying to look at your own demo and see what you did wrong. I highly recommend you have a friend help you with demo reviews, and you can help each other. You can ask someone else for their perspective on what they think was the best play. They can think of more options if you can't think of any. But yeah, it's all about learning. It's all about learning. But anyway, thanks for watching.